Purpose. What is my purpose? That question is something everyone has asked themselves at least once in their lives. How do I find my purpose, and why haven't I found it yet? These questions come from that little voice in the back of your head that always has so much to say, but never enough time to say it. This voice arrives out of the fog and is whisked away just as fast as it arrives. But you don't have to worry about finding more time with that internal voice, because that voice is in this video. And this video is going to give you 3 crucial pieces of advice on how to find your purpose. And the last one is the most important, so stick around to the end to find out what it is. The first piece of advice is finding what fuels your desires. Finding one's self-purpose is a self-fulfilling desire. However, attempting to fulfill oneself and find their purpose is nearly impossible, without the realization that purpose is something only truly understood within oneself. Purpose is something that is drawn out by someone's desires, no matter how deep they really are. There is this analogy that when you're stuck between 2 ideas or can't decide what to pick, flipping a coin on them is the best way to help you decide, as when the coin is mid-air, you'll really find out which one of the 2 you'd prefer to have. And that relates because step 1 is to find exactly what you want. Find your desires, and through your desires you find pieces of yourself that help you further understand who you really are. And truly knowing oneself is a big part of finding one's purpose. My second piece of advice would be having an open mind. Purpose is one of those things that you feel you are meant to do, or you are literally born to become. The tricky part of finding your purpose is you'll never know what it truly is until you do. The hard part of all of this is staying open to new opportunities, because if you aren't open-minded, you may never allow your purpose to step through the door. We believe that our purpose is to get rich, start that business, or maybe just to help others. However, being so hyper-focused on what you yourself believe your purpose to be without leaving the door open for opportunities is like closing the door on your own potential. Even if something that's unlikely to be important to you, or a job opportunity that seems uninteresting, my advice would be to always give these opportunities a second glance, and just imagine all of the potential that these doors could possibly give. An example of this could be turning down going out with your friends because you think that it will be boring and a waste of a night. But with a second glance and an open mind, you could realize that there's a chance you meet your forever guy or girl, or on that night out, run into an investor that shares the same ideals as you, or meet new friends that'll take you to places you would have never imagined. In short, build yourself into someone with an open mind, and that will push you miles closer to finding your purpose. Now for the last and most important piece of advice. Doing everything with a purpose. Finding your purpose is one of, if not the most self-fulfilling, self-improving, and life-altering discoveries someone can make. But you can't find your purpose if you aren't putting purpose into yourself. Taking purpose into a literal meaning is the most important part of finding your real purpose. What I mean by this is by doing things with a purpose, no matter the task, big or small. Making sure to put a foot forward and have a purpose for what you're doing is like the stairway to finding out what it really is. A few examples of this would be when you wake up and you're cooking your breakfast. You make that breakfast with the purpose of it filling you with energy to make it through your day and make it a successful one. Not just cooking it because it's part of your routine or because that's what you feel you should do in the morning. Or when you're at the gym and you're going through your workouts, it's best to make sure you hit every set with the purpose of improving, getting stronger, or being able to look yourself in the mirror and be proud of your gym accomplishments. When you put a purpose behind your decisions, the rewards become so much more rewarding. And with that, brings this video to a close. But not a close to that little voice in the back of your mind. The voice pushing you one step at a time, holding your hand on your journey to finding your purpose. This video is just the beginning of the real you. I want to say thank you for sticking around to the end, and I hope that you listening to have found something that struck within you to make that change to find your purpose. Feel free to leave a comment down below letting me know what that thing was, and feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.